Hey everyone. Well, I'm here in Florida and the governor of Florida just declared a mandatory, basically a stay-at-home declaration. So I cannot go anywhere pretty much unless it's for groceries or medical reasons, things like that. So I'm pretty much stuck at home, so that gives me even more time to work on some projects. And my wife is an essential worker. She is a nurse, and she had mentioned how they need more masks and things. So I was doing some searches online and actually found a National Institute of Health approved face shield. So that's what we're going to be working on today, is we're going to be printing face shields and putting them together and getting them ready for my wife and the nurses that work under her, as well as anybody else that needs it. So maybe that's something you'd like to do too. So let's make some face shields. Let's go. See it all the way around. So basically your head would press up against this part, and then this spacing here keeps it away from your face. That way you got room for your nose and cheeks and everything else on there. And then of course the plastic sheet would go to onto these 3 pins and snap on, and it holds it very well. So that's it. Now this particular one, the way that I loaded this one, takes over 6.5 hours to print out. I did it with 0.2 millimeter layers, so I kept it pretty fine. You don't really need to do it that fine. You could do it at 0.4 or maybe even a little bigger, and it would still work. It wouldn't look quite as nice, but it would still be useful, and you could cut the print time way down. So that's another option for you. I've got so many printers though, I just print them out at the same time. I've also got a Hebo, which is a 300 by 300 bed, and so that one I can do them on, and I can do it quicker too because that's a Core XY printer, so I can print at a lot faster speeds. Whereas this one, the ANET A8, it's a typical Cartesian, but it's not a Core XY, so you've still got the gantry moving the one way, and then the build plate moving in the Y direction, which that makes it where you can't go as fast. Even the whole gantry moving on the X, you have to go a little bit slower to not get too much ringing and just making a mess. But especially with the bed going back and forth, same thing. So anyway, there it is. So if you want to print it out, you can download it yourself. It's the DTM v3.0.stl file. Download it and print it out yourself and help somebody else out with it. And as you can see here, it says this design has undergone review in a clinical setting and is recommended when fabricated as instructed.
How can I be silent when there's all this joy inside my heart? How can I be quiet when you gave me light to pierce the dark? How can I be silent? I will not be silent. Even though my sin hot lips crimson, you washed away no stains, and the grace you've given is the reason I'll never be the same. How can I be silent? I will not be silent. How can I be silent?
And here is the finished printed part for the face shield. And if you'll notice, you'll see there's 3 posts on here. And these 3 posts are the exact width of your standard 3-hole punch for like folders and binders and things like that. So what works perfectly as the face shield is like clear binder folders or clear binder page separators, and that's what we're going to use today. So the part that I use for the clear plastic that seems to work best is what's listed on the website where you can download the print files, and I'll put that down below in the description, is the Avery tabs. It's Avery Clear Easy View Durable Plastic Dividers. And they make a couple of them. They make the ones where there's 8 tabs, and they also have one that's 5 tabs. So you basically, in this one, you have 8 sheets. And then if you get the 5 tab one, you have 5 sheets. And then you've got the tabs down here, which actually you can either cut them off, or like I say, you can put the person's name on it or whatever. So they can be handy, or you can just cut them off. But the durable ones are what's really important. They're very stiff and they work excellent. So I'll put links down below. So we just place these right on here on the posts, and it's going to be a really snug fit, so it will not come off. You got to put a little pressure on there to snap it on. And this third one is typically pretty tight. There we go. So that is not going to come off. That is on there nice and snug. And you want to get the heaviest duty you can, the more durable that you can, because it's going to be less flimsy. The first ones that I got, they were real flimsy, but this one is a more durable one, and it is nice and sturdy. Should work really well. Now, I normally will cut this tab off to where it's a nice flush bottom there. But my wife actually said that she wants to keep them on there because then the nurses can write their name on there so they'll know whose is whose, and I thought that was a great idea. So I'm going to leave the little tab on here. Now, for the elastic, so that it will stay on your head, you just clip it around here, and you can use just rubber bands if that's all you've got. That's what I used at first, but I also picked up some hair I guess hair headbands, you call them, like women's headbands. I think that's what this is. I got it from my wife. Got a few of these. So these work really well. You just loop them around on these hooks, and you're good to go. Now I also, what I do, because that can be a little bit tight depending on the size of your head, so I also got some of these little elastic hair bands. I guess women use them a lot for ponytails or just holding their hair up and twisting them and stuff. But you can get a bunch of these and you can loop them together, or what I did was I looped just one on here because that's a good size for me, or you may want to loop 2. All you got to do is slide it through there. Hopefully you can see this. I'm wearing a black shirt. And then you just loop it through and pull it. That's how you would fasten on there. I don't want to tighten this one because I've already got the one. But then all you do is you loop it through there, and then you hook it onto there, and then put it on. Simple as that. Stays real good, it's not loose. And you, like I said, you can always add more of these bands to make it a little bit looser if you want. And you can use just a bunch of these all chained together. And it makes it real simple to do. So that's the way you can put it on. Of course, you can get creative, put little colored ones on, whatever. Make it look pretty. But there you go. Works great. Another big advantage of these too is you can still use the traditional coverings. So for instance, let's say you already have a traditional mask and you've got that on as well. If I can get it on. I'm obviously not a medical professional, but we'll get, I do have big ears, so it should stay on. There we go. So if you already got a mask and maybe even you've got reading glasses, let's say you've got that, it'll still go on there because you've got room for it. That's one of the big advantages. There we go. So I can still read. I've still got my eye protection, my breathing and inhalation protection, and I've still got the shield, especially for any liquids or anything like that. So it's just an added layer of protection. And there, that falls. That's not because it's not good, it's because I don't know how to put those things on. But so anyway, you see how this can be very beneficial, especially for hospitals or anyone that is running short on personal protective equipment. These are great. I mean, you know, it's not perfect, but in a pinch, it's certainly better than nothing. And they're real easy to print out and real easy to use. I've seen a lot of other ones on the internet as well that are basically don't have this extra shield part at the top. They just go here, so they're quicker to print than these are. But since these were approved by the National Institute of Health, I thought these would be better anyway. So I've been printing these out. I've got two different printers I've been printing them on. One is an older, smaller printer, an old ANET A8, and I've been printing some on there. They take a lot longer on there at this high resolution. I typically print them at about a 0.2 millimeter layer height. And so this one here on my Hevo, I've got another one printing right now. It takes 4 to 5 hours or so, but it's high resolution. I could cut that down by going to 0.4 millimeters, things like that, cut it down substantially. So I could certainly do that, but I like the high resolution, and with a couple of printers going, I can pump out a bunch of them. So anyway, that's it. That's how they work. They're really good. Help people be safe in this time. So print some out for yourself, even if you just want to use them for yourself when you go out, or you want to give them to friends and family, or if you've got anyone in the medical profession that could use them, print them out and give them to them. They're really cheap. These folder separators, I got, let's see, I think I got a pack of 8. It was 8 different tabs, and it was about $6-7, although I think the price has been going up lately. So roughly about $1 for each one of these clear sheets. And then of course I printed these in PLA. You can print them in almost anything, as long as you wouldn't want to print it in PLA if you're going to leave it in your car in the hot sun for a while. But if you're not going to be doing that, PLA should be fine. ABS, PETG, whatever you got will probably work great for them. So that's not an issue. Real easy to do. You can print them with no supports, real quick and easy. So they work great. So make some for yourself, have some fun, make your time at home useful, and help somebody else out by printing some of these and giving them out, and hopefully everyone can stay safe. So there you go. Have some fun printing and stay safe. We'll see you.
I used to wonder if I ever could be loved. Never gonna live up. Should I give up? Will I ever be enough? What I didn't understand is you love me as I am.
A folder
I don't care what anybody thinks about me.
Put any
No,
kind
I
of
don't
a
care what
clear
anybody thinks about me.